Sometimes, when you want to fight.
You want to fight and they don't fight back. And they don't fight.
And he don't fight back.
You fight more.
I'm like, no.
Yeah.
So I had to fight inward.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, wait a second. What's happening? That's when I got to realize my little girl so well. And then we have a chat about the little girl.
Yeah.
So whenever I want to fight, it's like, you know what? My little girl is very upset right now.
She wants to fight.
She's very angry and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, okay, let's talk about it.
Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of Bidun Sukkar, where we discuss and question culture and social norms without sugarcoating or filters. Today I have a guest that I met recently in a networking event, and she was a speaker. And the topic that she was covering is about her incredible story with resilience. She has a very, very, very good story to tell. But it's also about the journey back to self. And what does that mean? So today I have Zai, who is short for Zaytuna, which I think is very cute.
Hi.
Zai, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start. What brought you here? What brought us together, actually? I think we have a lot in common.
I think when I saw you, I saw very strong women. And then I met another lady at the event and I said, oh my God, don't mess with these two alpha women. Remember I said that? What's her name?
Nidal.
I said, girls don't mess with these two alpha women. And I'm glad you are running a podcast, and I thought we should speak what made us alpha women, and why are we choosing softness?
Yeah. Let's start with your story, because it's a roller coaster of a story. Mm-hmm. So if you can give us a little bit of...
About myself?
Yeah.
Well, basically, I've been an entrepreneur the last 22 years. I'm from Singapore, live in Dubai now. And journey of entrepreneurship is one hell of a ship on its own. Yeah, I worked with mentors, male mentors who, there's so much of ego, a lot of sexual harassment, I had to struggle so much just to fit in.
Yes.
Even if you are really smart and you have all this intellection and conversation you want to speak about, you have to play it down and look not so smart so that they can feel adaptable.
Yeah.
And this is something that I think it's been 22 years of journey.
Yeah.
And even last week when I was having a meeting and I said, I started with women empowerment, and there were 2 guys out of 5 ladies in the room, and with other 5 ladies, and I said, I run a women empowerment. By the way, don't worry, I'm not a feminist. I had to justify myself.
Oh, you felt that?
Yeah, every time I do that, because just to make the guys feel more comfortable. And I think there was no need for that.
Yeah.
We do that, right? Why do we do that?
Where I come from is, I've talked about it in the other episodes, but I had to step up a lot, and you have to remove a lot of what makes you feminine. So you become relevant, funny, smart, and you have to make space for them. And I do that at work as well. I have colleagues that I'm making them feel better. And the other day I was getting upset with it. I was like, you know what? I'm done making that guy feel better. I am done wondering why he doesn't care or like me or whatever. I'm like, you know what? I'm done. Yeah. Does he even think about it? Like, I praise him. I give him space. I do all of these things. I make sure he doesn't get offended. I change the way I speak in my email. I was like,
no,
I'm done.
No. Yeah, I used to do a lot of that as well. And I think it's work in progress. We are all learning. I always say healing is like an onion layer. When you think you're done, and then yesterday something happened. My brothers were kind to me and extra nice and kind. I mean, I have no problem. Yeah. But it was like, what's going on? Like, I suddenly felt accepted and invited into their life again. And I'm like, I have to work on this now. Damn, I thought it was fine and everything was there. Yeah. And then this onion layer need to be peeled off. Anyways, so talking about entrepreneur journey, and then there was a journey into 2005. I met with an accident. Yes. I fractured, dislocated my spine. I had to learn how to walk again. That was, when you were telling us there, I was like, wow, I don't know what I would do. Because I do believe there are things that are worse than just death. Like to lose the ability to do whatever. Yeah. Kudos to you. To walk again. And the doctors weren't being positive either from what you were telling us. No, they said even after the operation, only 5% chance I would walk again. And that's nothing. And even before the operation, they said I only had 50% chance of being alive, or I would have left the world. I'm like, but the ability to walk again. But yeah, that's the thing. Even now, like when I speak and I see things, I appreciate life better, I guess. Because I had a friend who just lost her sight 2 years ago. She's only in her 30s. Just became blind.
I can't imagine, yeah.
And I'm like, every time, like when I admire the moon or the sky or something, I'm like, Jen can't see anymore. Like, oh my God.
Do you think that accident got you to where you are right now? Like,
I would thank God there was definitely wisdom in it, but didn't really change me until a year into the accident when I decided that I started questioning God.
Okay.
I started questioning, like, why didn't I die, like, from the accident? What's my purpose of being? Like, why am I still here? There's so many questions. So I always say this to my audience when I speak, like, you have to ask questions.
Like, what, why?
Yeah, and also find solution, and then obviously you become the solution provider. That's how I started writing books, speaking, training, coaching, mentoring. But if we don't question why and we just go with the flow, it's fine to go with the flow, but don't be stagnant.
Yeah. I find coasting very damaging for me. If I stay like that,
I get suffocated.
Anxious. I feel so lost. Just to deviate a little bit, last week I was traveling for work, and I realized when I'm outside Dubai, in Middle Eastern cities, I feel powerless.
Wow.
It's very hard to explain. It's something I realized I have. It's an unprocessed
Which country were you? Can I ask?
That's fine, yeah. I was in Cairo. There's nothing wrong in Cairo, but
outside Muslim country?
No, I'm talking about Middle Eastern countries that are not Dubai. So cities specifically, because I grew up very powerless in my own city, from my own family and the way I grew up. So I felt when I go to another country where I feel powerless, it brought up all of these emotions.
What do you mean by powerless?
I felt, because like in Cairo, unfortunately, it's known to be one of the most unsafest city for girls, for women. Statistically, I don't. So for
I've been
me,
there 3 times.
Yeah,
I run out every time.
This is my 2nd time, and I was like, I want to go out, I want to see, but I also don't want to put myself in a weird position. I don't want to, and I was uncomfortable. I felt like I'm not in control of my life, and I'm sure there's something more than that. It's not just Cairo; it's everything else. Like I felt it in Beirut, I felt it in Saudi, I feel it in different cities. So I'm like, what is it? Why do I still think I'm not safe? Because this is where the whole being strong came from. So as soon as I did that, the way I handle it is I created an Excel sheet, put all the plans that I wanted to put, because it kept going on my head. Like I felt out of control, and putting a plan makes me be in control. Wow. So I put like a healthy tracker, a habit tracker. I created an Excel sheet of what I want to do for the podcast, for the trips I want to take, the job, like how do I... And I felt better because it decluttered all of the clutter that was telling me I'm not safe. And I put, when I have a plan, time. Yes. And I was like, okay. It's a weird sense of control, but it brought up emotions. I was like, I thought I was over it. Yes, like that's what you were saying.
And then you
the onion. And then
you need to understand why this came about. So talking about safety, I think this is one thing why a lot of alpha women, we feel the need to protect ourselves.
Yeah, all the time.
So we draw up this huge wall of barriers, defense mechanism. Yeah. We become rude when we don't need to be. Yeah. We become excessively protective when we don't need to be. Yeah. And I think at one point of time, and it takes a lot of like I have daddy issues. Like all of us do. I think not all. I've met women who are so wild about their dads. I'm like, wow, this is refreshing. Yeah. So like my dad left when I was 1, and I every time grew up believing that he left because I was born.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. I thought my parents divorced because of me. I thought my dad didn't like me didn't love me because I resembled my mother. So I feel your pain.
I know what you
internalize this action that someone else did.
So today, this morning, I was really reflecting on this. I said, why did I take on that responsibility? Right? I mean, I've been doing women empowerment, youth empowerment programs and stuff for family corporates, but it feels like a full circle. Just last 3 days ago, I said, I'm going to do something called empowering women's freedom.
Nice. What does that mean?
Freedom is like freedom.
Yeah. Nice.
So to be freed from feeling I need to be responsible for something that is none of my business.
Yeah. We carry baggage that's not ours.
And it's so heavy. To be freed from the need to justify ourselves. Yeah. To be freed from the feeling that, I need to people please so that they will accept me. Yeah. And this is all rubbish.
Yes.
But it's sad because there are so many of us struggling with this. And it's, if you don't never been through it, you cannot explain it to someone, and they will never understand
They'll never
it.
understand, yeah.
So it causes a lot of problems in relationships with couples. For example, the man is really nice, but if I have trust issues, if I grew up not having role models, I cannot respect them, and I don't need them in their life, I don't appreciate them, then how do amazing single women out there find true love? Or even if we find someone,
will sabotage it.
You self-sabotage it. You want to run. You keep fighting, freezing, and just wanting to run. So I think these are things that, of course, I have this in my coaching programs. I talk about turning your pain into power, step up to turn your passion into profit, step up to turn your dreams into reality with confidence and clarity. So I think understanding this and going back like full circle, I started with women empowerment, and at the end of the day, I think it's true. When you educate a woman, you really support a nation. It's not because she have to do it, but because when she's chill and she don't have to be strong anymore, we give way to men to man up.
Yeah. What have you seen in your programs? What is the hardest thing that women had to let go of from what you've seen?
One of them is to be strong. I think just our limiting self-belief. Our having to justify, and I think the most important is our limiting self-belief.
Yeah.
Because if I'm good at something, then I am good at it.
We belittle our work. We belittle.
And I think one of the hardest thing was always, I think this is a very universal culture. It's not just like in Asia or Middle East or something. We grow up thinking that we need to be on adab. We need to have adab and be, we cannot voice out. Like our voice is not important enough.
Yes.
And even if you speak up, it's like people will judge you. But it's not true. I learned this during some networking events from many years ago. Like I will have like dying question out of like a group of people. And I'm like, I want to ask a question, but I'm always scared like, oh, what if it's a stupid question? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you always feel then someone... Usually a guy asks a stupid question.
No, actually, when I put up my hand, I asked the question. I have other people in the room who say, oh, that was a great question.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, but I was afraid to ask. And I'm like,
yes, exactly.
Oh, you mean I can be a voice, a representative for people? I think that got me more confident and like, no, my voice is important. My presence is important. Just being present, I said, is the greatest present.
Yeah.
So being present is the greatest present, and just going back into who you are. So I think a lot of the things that I do, and I think is so important, especially now I'm past 40 years old. I wish I knew this from way before. I wish I knew this from way before, is that I have the freedom to do what I love and love what I do with faith and love. I want women and men to embrace freedom, to have independence, to be self-sustainable, and to work on self-discovery.
Yeah, I think a lot of people avoid that.
Self-discovery and to heal completely. I think this should be the goal for everyone.
Yeah, I agree. We, I don't know where I read this. We are here to evolve, to heal. You know? And the only way to evolve is through healing.
And a message to like future parents, not just mothers. Guys, mothers and fathers make a child. Like we always focus on mothers, right? So my hope for future parents or parents right now is to work on being the resilient, confident parent, so that you can raise confident, compassionate kids.
How do you become a resilient, confident parent in your opinion?
Work on yourself. Understand what is the damage poured onto you. What are you programmed and being programmed, and what are you pouring into your children? Like I have some of my friends who are working and still working on our healing transformation, and they're like, Zai, before I even give birth, I do a lot of loving kindness meditation. I am intentional. Like I'm very careful of the words I think of, what I think, what I say, so that my baby in the womb is not affected. And I'm like, thank you.
That's how you break the cycle.
We have to break this vicious cycle of generational curse, and really work on generational healing. And it's really, Allah says, we start everything with Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, in the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate. What happened to Rahman Rahim?
Yeah, we don't practice that.
And
We're very brutal.
And I want to share this little thing I did, which was very powerful. It's called a womb healing meditation.
I heard about it. Tell me more. I didn't. I heard about it. Someone told me about it, but I never did it.
Really?
Tell me, what is it?
Womb healing meditation. So cool. I never thought about it a lot. I know, like, I have 6 siblings, 6 of us, 5 siblings, me and I'm 6. And I always grew up saying, oh my God, I'm not going to be a mom. I don't want to. I don't want to cause more damage to the world.
I say the same. Yeah. That's why I don't have kids yet. Yeah. But I felt the same way.
Cheers.
Like, I don't want to do damage. My entire family don't want to have kids, which our entire generation, we're all cousins. None of us want to have kids.
But you see, we don't want to cause any more damage to the world. And we're like, Khalas, I don't want to go through and I don't want to go through what my mom had to put me through. I mean, she's great and everything because I took on that responsibility. I was like her main caregiver.
Why did you take on the responsibility though?
Because I felt bad that my father left because of me.
It's so interesting. I'm so glad that you're aware of the reason. Like, that's so interesting. And you think your siblings, because it's always interesting how all the siblings react, right? Because, for example, my mom left in one way or another as well. I internalized it into self-hate. My brother internalized it into self-love, excessive self-love to narcissism, let's say. For me,
is he older than you?
Yeah.
You see why? I'll tell you why.
Tell me,
I'll tell you why every sibling is different. I struggled with it. I'm like, how come these people don't have the empathy I have? How come they are not like me? And I get so frustrated. Why are they so heartless and emotionless?
Exactly,
Why don't they understand not what I'm going through, like what mommy is going through? And I get so mad just at that. Even until now, I need to heal on that.
So what's the answer?
But you see, I watched a video, I think, by this psychologist. He said, we have to understand that when my first sibling was born, my mom and dad, maybe they were struggling, but she was working, she was trying to support the family. When the second was born, the family was more comfortable.
It's different life stages. Yeah.
Different life stages. Third, fourth, fifth. And me, maybe I was the accidental one.
Were you the youngest?
My mom had me when she was 42.
Okay.
Like, obviously, I wasn't planned. Like, even worse, I questioned my reason of being. Am I supposed to even exist?
Yeah.
So I questioned my existence.
I questioned, why am I here?
Of course.
What do I need to be here for? Yeah.
And because of all this is going back to why we need to become that strong person, because we feel like we are not supported. Even when we get support,
it's not.
We refuse to ask for help.
We refuse it. We reject it. We reject compliments. We reject help. We reject it all. So back to womb healing, actually.
Womb healing, sorry. How did I get to this?
Yeah.
So, because I didn't want to have kids.
Yes.
So I was introduced to this womb healing thing through a meditation group I'm on. It was a 7 days meditation. First 2 days, just like, try to imagine the womb, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, don't feel anything. What is this nonsense?
You feel bullshit, yeah. Yeah, you do in the beginning. You're like, what the fuck?
What's this nonsense? Second day, then I realized I never acknowledged my rahim. I never acknowledged my womb. It's such a sacred organ.
It is. And we undermine it.
Because we have already told ourselves, heck, I'm not having kids. I don't need this part of my life to even function. So it was very numb. I couldn't feel it for 2 days. When the third day, when I realized, I started, loving kindness meditation and energy and blah, blah. Start working on chakra healing. I said, wow, this is nice. And I said, and a lot of people always tell me, Zai, if you become a mom, you'll make a fantastic mom. I'm like,
they tell me the same thing. And I'm like,
because obviously, of course we will be. We're so aware, like...
Yeah, but I don't know if I want to be. Yeah, but yeah.
No. That, whether you want to be or not is secondary. But the fact is, we can own it. Like, if it happens, alhamdulillah. If not, but still no.
So what happens?
I want to write 20 more books. I don't want to have kids. I have 2 books.
The books are your kids.
See, then it's intentional and you are conscious. It's not just, whatever. No, you have to be conscious and talk about conscious parenting and stuff. So the womb healing thing made me acknowledge my womb. It helped me acknowledge my woman power.
Okay.
It made me become more softer and really helped a lot.
So that's how it started.
Oh no, it started way before. This was like cream and cherry on the cake. So I was like, khalas. It was very helpful. Yeah.
Interesting. No, I heard about it, but I didn't. Yeah, because I did energy healing a year ago, and this is where I was faced with the truth that I am not comfortable with being feminine, and femininity and feminine energy and how much I was in my masculine. I had no idea, you know. But all I used to hear that everyone was like, "Oh, you're so aggressive. You're so this. You're that." I'm like, yeah, and that's who I am. You know, you take it as this.
But is that who you really want to be? Is that the true Razan?
Yeah, this is where I was discovering, and it's been like a topic on a few of these episodes where I'm like, I'm trying to find out who I am because I think there's someone there that isn't tapped into yet, which is my feminine energy. And it's getting better. And I have been more content, been calmer. Like when I was back in Cairo, it brought up aggression that I forgot about. I was like, okay, that's what I was like, imagine your entire childhood was like that.
Of course.
And your adulthood, I was like, no wonder I was so angry. No wonder I was I was aggressive in every possible way.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. I get it now.
Yeah. And this is the beauty. We have to embrace the emotion and process it.
Yeah.
And you cannot talk about it to just anyone
because
not everyone will understand.
Yeah.
And they will like, oh, come on, it's the past. Like, forget about it.
I hated that the most.
I cannot forget about my past. It's living inside me. What are you talking?
Every day. It's my present sometimes. It seeps in my present.
So even like I shared with you guys that my mom was passing and my friend lost her mom already, right? So she was like, Zai, everyone loses the mom. I said, but that's their story.
Yeah.
Mine is different. My mom's like my daughter.
Yeah.
It's different. Yeah. And so I think another thing about emotions, a lot of people are afraid to even address their emotions, their self-discovery, because there's not many people who can really tackle it with them or handle it for themselves. So
we don't have enough coping mechanism, I think, to deal
healing
with that.
Mechanism. We cannot just cope and survive anymore. We need to heal completely.
Because I think the world is healing a little bit more. Like it's becoming more aware.
People are talking about it.
Yeah, but I'm glad we're getting there, and I think more people are doing it, but it's not easy.
And it's not like, I mean, I want to talk about religion, right? Because even if you are Muslim or Christian or anyone of any faith, it's not about, oh, you are praying, you go to the church, you go to the mosque, so you must be strong, you must have faith. It's nothing to do with the faith. It's just someone is emotionally helpless, feeling worthlessness, lovelessness.
Yeah.
If you don't know anything nice to say, just be present.
Yeah. I was having, in the previous episode, I was just telling Tamara about, I'm starting to be more conscious. I was like, if what I'm going to say is not going to add or help, then I want to try to be more intentional with what I'm saying. Because I know a lot of people tell me the way I say things is too direct. So I've been keeping an eye on it, you know, like it's not easy.
It's okay. Yeah. It's okay to be, I think we need this more, not direct, like we need to be tactful. Yeah. But if there is an issue, like just yesterday, I told my brother, every time I say hi or something, he just puts that heart emoticon and smile or Allahumma salli ala Muhammad, like that sticker. And I'm like, so I was very mad, but I said, okay, Zai, chill. You don't need any more war with anyone. Like, halas, chill. What do you need to address? So I wrote to him yesterday. I was disturbed the whole 24 hours. I woke up. I said, I know you are not very good at expressing your thoughts and emotions, but I just want to tell you that I miss you and I will appreciate an audio message. I'm glad I did that instead of going to war, because then he said, oh, I'm in KL, and then he sent me pictures.
Oh, that's nice.
Of him with his croissant and coffee, his smiling photo, and I'm like, Alhamdulillah, thank you. Like I didn't go to war, but because there's again communication technique.
And it's also sometimes just easier to go to war.
People fight, but if you fight, I'm going to destroy this relationship. That's not what I want anymore, because that's not their love language. Perhaps they don't understand. They don't understand. So why do I want to keep fighting with someone who don't understand? You're not out of it anymore. Yeah, you're not. But because I understand, okay, this is not going to work, and because I think I became more kinder to myself.
Yes, me too.
I want to be softer, and I don't want to fight. I don't need this energy.
How was your inner critic? Your inner self voice.
Oh, very harsh.
Before the kindness.
Oh, I call it my 5-year-old little child, my little girl, my inner little child. I call her the demon. She's so mean. She's so mean. Like whenever I'm happy, she's like, "Are you sure this is gonna last?"
Oh, that's hard. I know. Yeah.
And when
so it's good that you acknowledged. When did you find out?
2 years of very hard, 2.5 years of very hard work. But then that's also because I got into a relationship and the guy is really kind and nice. So I said, I cannot fight with him. Sometimes, you know, when you want to fight.
You want to fight and they don't fight back. And they don't fight.
And he don't fight back.
You
and
fight
I'm
more.
I'm like, no.
Yeah.
So I had to fight inward.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, wait a second. What's happening? That's when I got to realize my little girl so well. And then we have a chat about the little girl.
Yeah.
So whenever I want to fight, it's like, you know what? My little girl is very upset right now.
She wants to fight.
She's very angry and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, okay, let's talk about it.
Oh, that's nice.
So we have a nice
dialogue with the inner child.
And he's like, oh, your little girl is very dangerous.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know, I've been living with her for so long. But then again, what changed is not our partner. I think this is so important. Our partner is not our rehabilitation center.
Yes. Both wise, yeah. But
Men and women, both.
Women do not go thinking, women are not rehabs, men are not rehabs.
No, our partners are not the rehab center.
They're a mirror to show you what you need to heal. And that's why they piss you off so much.
Yeah.
But they're not supposed to fix you.
Yeah, no, we have to be very mindful of this because they are not trained professionally and they have their own issues to work on. So I think it's so important that when I realized that, I said, okay, maybe I need to speak to someone. What is the healing works I need to do? So I started working on energy healing, tons of meditation.
And they help.
It helps. It helps.
I think a little bit more than therapy was a starting point, but the energy healing and meditation and all of that has been so life-changing for me.
It's really helpful.
I only noticed that I think my inner voice. So a lot of people used to tell me I'm so negative, and I'm like, I'm not negative. I just show you what's the reality. I'm real. I'm realist.
Yeah.
But then I don't know what I did. Some digging in my head, and I was like, that voice is my dad's voice, and my dad used to always be negative, always. I was like, that wasn't my voice. So also to find who my voice is versus people's voices or what they told me was a whole mission. And that has been life-changing because now I'm so much kinder to me.
Alhamdulillah. Nice to hear that. Good. But yeah, just working on your healing, and that's why I incorporate this kind of stuff into my mentoring program as well. I was like, you know what? Don't worry about this questionnaire. Just work on your loving kindness meditation whole week. Just work on this. Yeah, just work on this. So it's nice when you can integrate stuff that you are working on that has helped you and you can help more people. It's just wonderful. Yeah.
Back to your answer. So what happens when two alpha females meet? What do you think happens?
When two alpha women meet, I can tell you what happened. I just spoke to my best friend from college 2 days ago. And we started not preaching, but we were like we're so gorgeous. Why are we dealing with all this nonsense in our life? Like, we're so smart. Like, why? And we amplify our ego. Very nice.
The good ego.
No, that one is not helpful ego. Not the good ego. Yeah. It amplifies. I mean, it's good. You can have bragging rights. Like, yeah, I'm gorgeous, I'm smart, I'm blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, so what? Are you kind? Are you being kind to yourself? Is this knowledge and conversation now feeding your soul? Or is it just helping you hear?
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes we need that.
Sometimes you need it.
Yeah, it's like medicine, you know? Yeah. But it can be poisonous when you take too much.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not food for your soul. No. So you know who are the friends, who are the food for your soul, who's the medicine, who's the poison. Yeah. And vice versa, look inside. So whenever I'm in a setting, I try to make sure I learn, heal and grow, or I also add value to others. As you know, you saw me on the meetup. I'm like, this is not about me. I want to make sure I share and impact someone's life. And I think I did a great job.
You did. And also that where your topic was about...
responsible social media usage.
And I think this is where we're at, you and I, like, you were talking about it. It's not about following the trends. It's not about that. It's about making sure what you put out there is intentional. It's a leading with intention, right? And that's a struggle also for me as a podcast person. Is I don't want to be not taken seriously. I don't want to follow trends just for that. I'm not here to be viral, you know. And you were asking me what was my objective. I want to be influential in the real meaning of influence, not. Or, you know, the word that you and I don't like, influencer, you know. No, I want to influence thought. I want to facilitate thought. I want people to think about the things that we go through. I think both of our cultures are similar, where people just do things. They don't think about why they do it, or they just copy paste, you know, and do it as is. I'm like, no, let's take a step back, think and look inward. Let's do that. Find
the purpose, find the meaning, and just use time to I mean, nothing is instant, though we all are not patient anymore.
No, it's very hard.
I don't have patience in my vocab before, like before all this healing. Only like in the last 1 year, I said, okay, I need to start having sabr.
Same. Same. I'm the most impatient person I know.
But maybe we're not. We're just being hard on ourselves, right?
Yeah, I think so. You want things to happen. Like sometimes, like today, actually in the morning, I was very overwhelmed. I was like, I can't. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the Razan who was being an ambitious podcaster. I want to put her on the side. Because, you have a to-do list.
Yes.
You're like, why am I not? I did. Why am I not there? Whatever it is there is. I'm like, I'm just tired now. I want to take a break. And I need to be patient with myself and take...
Patience.
It's so hard, yeah.
I watched a video of Prophet Yunus when he was advocating to the people and he left. And he was eaten by the whale and he had to la ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. And the people became Muslim. They were practicing. When he came back, they were already practicing. So I was like, sometimes when I become impatient, I say, halas, imperfect action, chill. Imperfect action, it's okay, I'm good. Like, I can take a break for a day or something.
Nothing's going to fall apart.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we're very hard on ourselves, I think.
Very hard on ourselves.
And also, like, I keep questions, like, what am I racing towards? Like, why am I being impatient? This is not a job. I don't have a CEO behind me. I don't need to answer to anyone.
I know why you're being impatient.
Tell me.
Because you want to see change.
I think, maybe.
And maybe you've tasted the sweetness of that change and you're like, I want the whole world to know this right now.
Yeah, and I think this is why you're doing what you do as well,
yes,
right?
Yes, but I've given myself a chance. I said, if change don't happen now, I am leaving a legacy. So every podcast or every interview, every chance that I get to speak, I said, maybe the change won't happen now. Maybe in 100 years. Maybe I won't live to see the change. Yeah. But I know I planted a seed.
Yes, it's about
so I think for all those people out there who are trying to create and build something, of course we want to be known, we want to have our voice heard, we want to be acknowledged and appreciated. But at the end of the day, know that each and every work that you put out, it's going to impact one way or another somewhere out there. Remember I said about the lady on my Facebook who contacted me and said, Zai, I need to speak to you. It's just like, thanks for talking to me. I was just thinking of committing suicide and I feel better now. And even many years ago, 6 years ago, I was in UK for a women's conference. I was speaking and a lady at the end came all the way from the back. She said, I drove 4 hours from Manchester to see you in London because I want to thank you for one of your YouTube videos. It saved my marriage. So you never know, this conversation, is going to help so many people.
Like from the beginning, and I always remind myself, I was like, what is my success? Because this helps me to avoid, the followers, all of that. My success is if I can impact someone, I'm happy. This is how it should be. But sometimes, it's easy to get vain. It's easy to be like, I want to be a 1 million follower. But no, that's not.
You will get
that's
there.
That's not the point. That was never the objective. That's never why I started.
Yeah.
But I think the constant reminding yourself of your real objective, again, journey to self, journey to what you're doing and why you're doing it. And like what you're saying, the change, the compassion. Yeah, it's a constant reminder that you have to make to yourself.
But even like, because I do a lot of corporate trainings, a lot of CEOs, people in the senior level, they hustle so hard. They work so hard. Yeah. They don't have time for family and all. So when I do executive coaching, I ask them, why do you do what you do?
Do they have an answer?
Yeah, you'd be surprised. Well, and I have all these like old, not old, like 40s, 50s senior guys.
What's
They're
the
like,
answer?
I want to prove to my father.
It's always that, something like that.
I want to prove to my mom.
Or someone who told you you're a failure, like someone in your childhood. Yeah.
So if you are working towards that, you're going to break.
Yeah.
If you don't work inside out, heal and say, I'm doing this because every knowledge that I share is a passive income of akhirat. Sadaqah jariyah. It's a dua of a pious child. And God didn't say my own child that I give birth. It can be a righteous child. It can be one of you guys out there. Maybe I share something about a salawat or a Quran. I teach basic Arabic to kids. So on Zoom, to my friends' kids and stuff. I know these kids are going to pray for me. So halas, this is why we do what we do. Then you can breathe. Of course, we want all the money, the fame, the everything. But at the end of the day, are you truly doing it for you, or are you doing it for someone else?
Well, that's the perfect way to wrap up this episode.
And one more thing.
Tell me.
We always say, I love you to someone, be it a parent, to ourselves, to our partner. Do I love you for you, or do I love you for me?
Again, very good question. And that's a very hard one to answer.
So when I was losing my mom 3 months before she passed, I said, oh my God, I love you for me.
That must have been hard.
Oh, wow. Because I was so afraid of her leaving. Like, how can you leave me now?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Of course, I love her for her.
Of
but
course.
the bigger part was, I love you for me.
Yeah.
So in every relationship, if we want things to work and to be sincere, to be unconditional, do I love you for you, or do I truly love you for me? We have to address this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Well, thank you for joining me today, and thank you for opening a door for being honest and how things are and where we are and the journey to self, which is a very, very, very hard journey. Let us know what you think. Comment, share, leave feedback. Tell us where you are in your journey, and follow Zai. Zai has a lot of wisdom to share with us.
Thank you.